All right. How you doing? Everybody out there, how you doing? Okay. Getting things ready here for another Thursday night Fader night. Hello, everybody out there. After the fun show that we did last night, pretty amazing. Thanks to David Wilcock for coming in at the last moment. And we ran that live on YouTube. So I thought, why not do this again tonight? Because the audience, I think they need to participate. That was a really big show. And as they say, a really big shoe. So it was fun. So we're going to go ahead and run this. We're going to run a YouTube stream. Yeah, we kind of do it like maybe once every couple of months. So we did it last night. We did it tonight. And while the momentum is there, let's go ahead and do that. So welcome to everybody out there. And for those of you that are on YouTube right now that have no idea what's going on, this is a little pre-show. We go live in 2 minutes with the real thing. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night, and that means a couple of things. It means that Jon Rappoport's going to be here in about 30 minutes with his No More Fake Newsroom Live. I just spoke with Jon. I have no idea what he is going to cover tonight. That's my favorite thing to do, too, is get caught by surprise. And then followed by open lines all night long. You can see the phone numbers are posted up there in YouTube. They'll be going live with the broadcast here in a minute. And, of course, the action on Twitter is always insane on a Thursday night. You can follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. With all of that, it was a pretty spectacular broadcast last night. And the yes. Is that now or is that last night? Looking at my messenger. So what was I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted. Open lines all night long. And after last night with Corey Good and his 26-page doc that David and I went through, there was a lot of very serious information in there. Yes, it's all over the net today, as it should be. I expected that. So we can talk about that. I'm going to set up the vibes for everybody right now. We go live here in a second. And also, I guess Tucker Carlson over on Fox just covered with Leslie Kean disclosure. Like I said, it hasn't let up in the media. With that, we go live in 5 seconds. Enjoy the show.
Radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio for the masses. How you doing? It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. January 11th. 11 days into the new year. Just 354 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world. All across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR KGRA, The Planet, and the Game Changer Network. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. I'm saying hello into the chat rooms right now. And got Twitter going on. Messenger is up. Email is flying. We're all good. All systems go, because tonight is another Fader night with Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live. John will be here at the bottom of the hour. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. We'll open up the phone lines. They're already lit up here. Everybody just chill, man. Just relax. Just relax. Nuts. I know what everybody's wanting to talk about tonight. We did have a pretty amazing show last night. And it was one of those things, as I start to set up everything for this evening, you just never know how the day is going to play out, right? So, yesterday, Corey, yes, he did wind up over in emergency care, ER, and had a high temperature. Now, before I move forward, spoke to Corey today. He sounds a little rough, but he's good. Okay, so I'll get to that in a second. But so that's the latest before you're wondering what's going on. But you never know, right? And so 10 minutes before showtime, we go 20 minutes into the show last night. And my phone, which, it wasn't in the stand last night. It was sitting here, and it lights up, and there it is. Corey, I can't do the show. I'm in the ER. So in 10 minutes, well, actually, it was more like 2. I got Wilcock to cover. And look, David didn't know what he was going to do. I didn't know what, it was just one of those things. But I guess, and it's just like, when you have fun doing a guitar solo, and you're just riffing it and you're just having fun. Sometimes that's where the funnest stuff comes out. And it did last night, man. It was just one of those shows that was honest, right? That's all it was. It was just honest. It was an honest show. So that was a lot of fun last night. And a lot was revealed for the first time. In fact, all of it was for the first time. And I know that you guys want to talk about that, and we certainly can. And I'm going to set up some other stuff, too. And then we're going to have Jon Rappoport here, and then we'll take off, and we'll open up the phone lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. You can follow me on Twitter, at JChurchRadio. That's the simple thing to do, at JChurchRadio. Simple. Follow me on Twitter. Use the hashtags F2B, and that is the sandbox. Twitter for everybody out there on YouTube and in the bunker camp that's watching. Twitter's here, chat rooms are here, emails here, and Messenger is open up over here. This is for Rita, who's down the hall from the bunker. Okay. All right. Let's have some fun tonight. You know what to do. Go follow, like, and subscribe. Any questions or comments during the show, you can use hashtag F2BQ. You can also email throughout the show, jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. All right, just make it good, and it will make its way in here to me, and I'll read your email on the air. Okay? Let's see. Breaking news. Yes, Corey Good is back at home. He said to me today that he was taking his supplements, and he wanted me to thank everybody for the good vibes that were sent his way. Okay, so I got that out of the way. And I said to him, dude, everybody does the same thing. I'm kind of, scolding him a little bit, but everybody takes vitamins and supplements when they are sick. They don't take it when they are not. And you got to take them every single day. That's the difference. And he goes, I will, man, I promise. Okay, well, that's all great. Okay, but you don't have to make that promise to yourself. So today he is feeling much better. So when he said that, and this is where I caught him, he canceled on us last night. We covered, and Wilcock came in. We had a great show without him, and it was amazing. And he got the night off, right? Now he said today he's feeling better. I said, really? And he goes, yeah, man, I'm feeling pretty good. I said, okay. So what about in a week? Yeah, man, I should be great. Why? What's going on? I said, good, because I'm booking you for Coast to Coast. What? Yeah, you're on Coast to Coast next Friday. He paused. And, it's kind of like when you're in school and you tell your parents you're sick, right? Tell the teacher you're sick. You get out of your homework, right? For a day. You get out of school for a day. But your dad or your mom turns to you and says, that's good. Okay, fine. But tomorrow you're cutting the grass. And you're like, oh, man. Yeah, you know what? You know how. So next week, next Friday, Corey will be on Coast to Coast with me. And we will do what we were supposed to do last night. You know what, though? David did pretty good. Yeah. Corey, I hope you're listening right now. Don't screw up again, because I'll have David on Coast to Coast so quick. All right? So next week, Corey Good on Coast to Coast, followed by Open Lines, too, as well. All right, our next event will be the Conscious Life Expo, coming up February 9th through the 12th, 2018, at the LAX Hilton. Tickets and info are over on our website. Click on the banner right there for the Conscious Life Expo. Head straight over, tickets, info, full schedule. And without going into details, it's all right there. All the Fadernauts are going to be there. We're going to have our sponsors there. I'm going to be hosting a bunch of events all weekend and emceeing. Come and hang out with us. It is a really, really good time. And what's the best part about it is that as soon as you walk through the door, and I say it every single year, you walk through the door there, and you immediately feel the good vibe. It's just the way that it is. You feel it from the second you're there. It's really cool. So come and hang out with us. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. It's right there, Jimmy Church Radio. And click on the podcast banner. Just $2 a month. Help support the show. And you're going to get over 785 archive shows for $2 a month. All the software you need, all the apps, everything is right there. You can go and download it. Okay, so now... you can also become a Fadernaut, and you can do that in our membership section. You can do whatever you want, but you can go all the way to full-on Game Changer, where you're going to get an autographed Fade to Black hat, T-shirt, 1-year subscription, downloadable archives, MP3s, commercial-free, the bunker cam every single night. There you go. Become a member right now. Become a Fadernaut today. And let's get this show cracking. We've got a lot to do tonight. It's Thursday night. It's my favorite night of the week. Going to open lines on Fade to Black is an amazing thing. And I'm telling you right now, I don't deserve any of it. It's a privilege. It is an honor to be able to sit here and speak with all of you on a Thursday night. So that's what we're going to do, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today. You ready? I know you're not going to expect this, but one of my favorites. Amanda Pete. Amanda Pete today is 46. She will always make the cut. I don't care what she does later on in her career. She will always make the cut because of the whole 9 yards. Not the whole 10 yards. Yanni Gogolak. The whole 9 yards. Amanda Pete. She was also good in 2012, by the way. Yeah, she's pretty good in that. So happy birthday. She's 46. On this day in history, speaking of 2012, it happened on this day back in 2012. Joran Vandersloot, the longtime suspect in the unsolved 2005 disappearance of American Natalie Holloway in Aruba, pleads guilty to murder of a 21-year-old named Stephanie Flores in Lima, Peru. Flores was killed on May 30th, 2010, 5 years to the day after Holloway went missing while on a high school graduation trip in Aruba. Man, is that guy still alive? I meant to check that today. Joran Vandersloot. Whatever. That dude's a piece. Fader fact. China. This is a fact. This is a fact. This is verified, vetted fact. China gets a new billionaire every 5 days. Is that a trip? Every 5 days. Unbelievable. Well, it's Thursday. It's another Fader night. No more fake newsroom with Jon Rappoport. He'll be here in a few short minutes. And I have no idea what John's going to cover tonight. Have you guys ever done I grabbed these yesterday, and it's probably been 10 years since I did these. Chewable sweet tarts. The bomb. They're right here in the bunker on the desk. After the show last night, my email filled up as it did all day today. There were a few comments here and there too as well, but on the subject. But it was overwhelming. So I don't know what was going on out there in internet land after the show yesterday. I don't know. But I got all of this email with this same question. So it was out there, right? It was out there in the universe. It was out there in the electric universe. That, do I think that there is a fake alien invasion in the works? Okay, now this has been discussed a lot lately on the show. I know that got some email from Greer about this, and a few have called in about it, and I've talked to Dolan about it on the show. I've talked to everybody about it on the show, actually. Do I think a fake alien invasion is in the works? Well, let's discuss this for a second, because the short answer is no. All right? Now, that may not be what some of you want to hear. It may not be what some of you believe. It may not be what some of you have been told or have heard or have read. Okay? But the answer is no. I do not believe that. But it depends on the definition of fake alien invasion. Now, like everything, there's two ways to look at this, a fake alien invasion. The first one is something that we would see in our skies, a fake alien invasion up there in the clouds, right? In real time, because that's what that would be, right? I'm not sure how that would be done. Think about this for a second. It's unlikely. It's too hard to pull off. Again, for a lot of different reasons, but our skies, when you're out there standing in your front yard looking at the skies and you see a fake alien invasion, you know, that is fake. It's not Hollywood. See, and that's what I think most people assume here, that what you see in Hollywood on the screen, on a DVD, at home, on your flat screen, that action, that computer-generated action or a model on a string or whatever you're seeing there, that's Hollywood. Turning that into something in the skies in real time, I'm not sure how that would be done. Now, some people bring up Project Bluebeam. Okay, and I get that. But would that just be a static shot of some flying saucer in the clouds, right? Would it be a hologram like Tupac that's going to move and fly around and light up? And, you know, I'm not so sure. If it's going to be some Project Bluebeam thing that's going up and it's a flying saucer that's just sitting there in the clouds, how long do you think it would take for us to figure that out? Right? How long would it take? Not long. We would figure that out pretty quickly. And especially if it had some motion to it, if they were trying to do something, we would figure that out. It would be pretty instantaneous. Plus, somebody's going to start shooting at it, and the bullets are going to be going through it. They're not going to be bouncing off of it. And I'm talking about bullets from your neighbor, right? Not from the government. But, yeah, there's the Ronnie Dio hologram. That's actually pretty good. I've seen like 10 different versions of that. He pops up, holds up the flag and the banner, and it's got script on it. It's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Craig Goldie playing guitar, and that's pretty good. Is if it's static, no. That's where I just think that the technology is way too severe, and you have to take this in another direction too. If they pulled it off, and so you would have to do it over a populated area, doing a fake alien invasion out in the middle of the desert where nobody lives, where you would have the secrecy to be able to set up these projectors and do all of this, or maybe do it from a plane, and it's isolated. Well, then nobody's going to see it, right? Okay, so there's no effect there. So you're going to have to do this over a city. And I think that the technology that would have to be involved to make that convincing and moving and doing this, maybe even shooting lasers down to we're going to figure out really quick that it's not real, that the lasers coming off of the plasma beam weapons are not killing anybody on the ground, and there's no damage, unless they're going to start blowing stuff up with bombs on the ground. And people are going to figure that out really, really quickly, that it is just fake. So, fake alien invasion like that? Nah. No, the answer is no. It's just not going to happen. It's not. I don't want to bum everybody out. It's fun to talk about it. Yeah, man, Project Bluebeam, man. I have seen I've seen stuff like this done before. If you were at Contact in the Desert last year, you saw the hologram of the spaceship land out in the desert, and that was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. They had to project it on a screen out there. They got it done. They pulled it off. It was 3D. It was moving, lights, and I got to tell you, if I would have taken a picture of that, and I've said it before, if I would have taken a picture at that moment, I could have fooled anybody on this planet that a flying saucer landed out there in the desert amongst the Joshua trees, because it was really cool. But once you stop and you just take a look at it, it's obvious that it's not real, right? So that's it. It's fun to talk about. It is. It's fun to talk about. I have an open mind with this. I'm just saying I can't calculate somebody having the ability, in my mind, the calculation is going that it could be pulled off. Okay? So, no fake alien invasion like that. But, and there's always a but, right? That's where I take my hit of River Moon coffee. But, or, probably much easier would be to say, I'm talking about them, that they would say that ships are headed our way from way out there, beyond our solar system, maybe even inside our solar system, but maybe way out there. And the reason for that is only a select few on this planet would have the ability to actually see them, right? There's the ruse, right? It's like a magician, right? Right? Sleight of hand. Now, and if you can't see them, and I'm talking about everybody on this planet, now we have to believe the man, right? That they're headed our way. The skies, the heavens are so vast out there that even the select few that could see them, if they knew where to look, right, would have to be looking for something that isn't reflecting the sun. We're talking any way that they could do it, and that's with a telescope, with something with a lens, maybe a radio telescope, or maybe they're looking into different spectrums of light. They're trying to detect anything that they can out there, chemical signatures, trying to find something. But the skies, the heavens are so vast that they would be scanning out there forever. They can't even find meteors, right? Asteroids, right? Just rogue elements out there. You can't see them. And unless they're reflecting sunlight off of the sun, if they are beyond our solar system, man, there's no sunlight to reflect off of it. So what are you really looking for? So think about this for a second. Only a very, very select few would have the ability to see him. And there'd be no way for civilians on the planet to check and verify the reports. So that scenario of a fake alien invasion seems more likely. But eventually, all of the skies would be scanned by amateurs and pros alike. They would look everywhere all the time for anything, and they would find nothing. So that scenario, if you think about it, would only last for so long. Right? So we can kind of take that fake alien. If you are going to have a fake alien invasion, everything that I just laid out wouldn't work. Right? So my answer is no. No, there's not going to be a fake alien invasion. At least not like that. It's not going to happen. You can relax. Okay? Just relax. I don't care who is saying that this is, I don't care who. I'm not into naming names or thoughts or websites or forums or posts or Facebook or videos or YouTube. Whoever's saying it, they are wrong. It's not going to happen. It can't. Do you understand? It cannot. So relax. Sort of. Because what about a real alien invasion? That is something we need to trip on. Yeah. Not fake. Not Bluebeam, not holograms, not fake reports, not building up our military, not any no, not at all. A real alien invasion. Again, just like always, we have a couple of ways of looking at this. First, it's unlikely with any intelligence that has already visited us or who are here right now would invade us. Because if they wanted to, they would have already slapped us around and taken over anything that they wanted and had our way with us. They haven't. So nothing to report there. There's going to be no fear porn from me at this moment about the real alien invasion. Right? It's the ones who haven't been here before. Those are the ones you have to worry about. Right? The ones you haven't heard from. The quiet ones. The ones that have not been here yet. That's what I'm worried about. You know, the ones that just haven't discovered this beautiful blue paradise of ours. Do the math. It's very simple. That's what I want you to do. Just do the math with me for a second. 100 years ago, radio waves started to leave our planet at the speed of light. 100 years ago. 80 years ago, 70 years ago, television tore across the Milky Way at the speed of light. So, if you think about it, do the math. Every civilization that's about 40, 50 light years away, they should be showing up here soon. I mean, like, soon. The ones that didn't know we were here. 60 light years away, they'll be here in 10 years. 60 light years away. They'll be here in 10 years to say hello. The real one, you know, like, say hello to my little friend. That's what we need to worry about. Anything else, any other warnings, any other fake this, fake that, this, that, ignore it. This is what's funny to me about this whole idea right now of fast radio bursts. Because for us, we are looking, we're out there, we're scanning, we're looking, right? For fast radio bursts, FSBs. And so are they. They're looking for the same things. But it's what we do. We are scanning the heavens for FSBs every single day. We're looking for anything that we can find. And right now, it's the big thing to do with all of the radio telescopes around the world and all the professional astronomers. FSBs, right? That's what they're looking for. That's what they're doing. But out there, now here on this planet, when we see an FSB, we're trying to figure it out. Is it real? What's the signal? What's this and that? Where's it coming from? Is it something else? Is it something magnetic? Is it, you know, what is generating this? That's what we are wondering. But for them out there that are listening to us, our radio and television signals are real. They're real. There's no question about it. They are real. It's not weird pulses. It's not. It's everything, man. It's got video and audio and music and arguing and fighting and news and comedy and it's all there. It's all there. They are real. So anybody picking up what we are sending, they're saying right now, us, we're wondering, right? We got the big question marks going on. For them, they're literally saying, hey, man, check this out. Somebody at 853-847-024606 is playing Gilligan's Island reruns. And that's what we have to worry about. Think about it. Seriously. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader Night. Got Jon Rappoport here in his No More Fake newsroom. He'll be here next. Followed by open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. You can follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Natural Health Solutions with Chris and Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Great, Chris.
Now, you're the CEO of GetTheTea.com, right?
Yes, I am.
What is GetTheTea.com? I mean, is this tea you buy in a store?
Well, no, it's not. Life Change Tea is just that. Life-changing. Life Change Tea is an herbal tea that gently cleanses your body from intruders.
What do you mean by intruders?
Well, intruders are toxins, chemicals, GMOs, heavy metals, and more. They're in our food, in our water, in our air we breathe.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
And Life Change Tea will help you with removing these, as you say, intruders?
That's right, Chris.
Are there side effects with this tea?
Well, you might lose a little weight. When you clean your colon, you lose weight, you feel better, and you have more energy.
Wow. Ronnie, where can people purchase Life Change Tea?
Oh, that's easy. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Ronnie, I want to thank you for being on the show. People, don't forget, GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris.
What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake Newsroom in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots. No more androids. It's the No More Fake Newsroom with Jon Rappoport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Good to be here. All right. This UFO story just keeps on giving. It's so interesting, and so I'm going to try to delve deeper into it and see what's really going on. So my basic position on this is disclosure of a sort, partial disclosure, and it's also an operation. An op, as they would say in the intelligence community, both at the same time. At different levels, you should know by now about the disclosure part, the video of the fighter jet, 2004, off the coast of San Diego, the UFO on screen, and also the claim that materials from UFOs are stored in a warehouse in Las Vegas where attempts have been made, apparently without success, to analyze them, and that people have been interviewed for their experiences with UFOs, physiological effects, etc., etc. That this all comes out of a program at the Pentagon from 2007 to 2012, which most people say is still continuing, although the funding apparently is not there. Headed up by Luis Elizondo. I've talked about him before. But now, think of this. You are a pretty high-level government employee in the Pentagon, Luis Elizondo. Or you're a former Assistant Secretary of Defense. Or you are the former head of the very, very famous Lockheed Skunk Works, or former program director of that Skunk Works, where they do all kinds of secret research in Palmdale, California. And others who have signed on to Tom DeLonge's team at his To the Stars Academy, a fledgling company whose purpose is not entirely clear, but it involves further UFO disclosure and also commercial merchandising, films, and so on and so forth. You are one of these ex-high-level government employees, no longer working for the government, and you sign on to be part of Tom DeLonge's team. Tom DeLonge is a rock musician of some fame who has a deep and profound interest in UFOs, and he has made statements to the effect that the Academy is going to build a ship, a UFO that is going to traverse space and time to do more than any other ship from Earth has ever done, space and time. Why would you sign on to this team if you were a high-level ex-government employee? I mean, why would you align yourself with Tom DeLonge? I'm not particularly criticizing DeLonge here. I'm just saying that he is wide open to enormous press criticism, especially if further disclosures are made and the academy, which he heads, becomes more and more famous, and he becomes more and more famous to the general public. And this criticism will be exceedingly harsh. And there will be much ridicule and scorn. And you know that as an ex-government high-level employee in the intelligence military community. You know all this up front because you're not dumb. Why would you sign on to such a team? Instead, for example, why wouldn't you simply get together with your colleagues, I'm talking about the other team members now working with DeLonge, and say, let's start our own group and let's disclose, for example. That seems like a reasonable alternative. We stand here today, the 7 of us, from the Pentagon, from the CIA, from other intelligence agencies, former government employees, who can finally speak out. And we will. And we will tell you what the government has been withholding about UFOs, to the degree that we can without violating our security oaths or whatever. Why wouldn't you do that? It would be far more reputable of you to do that rather than to align yourself with somebody who is saying that his academy, under which you are now organized, is going to build a spaceship that's going to traverse space and time. Don't you think? Something is out of whack there, completely out of whack. Now, as people will say, well, there's nothing wrong with Tom DeLonge, and he's doing his best, and actually he's doing a great deal of good, and so on and so forth. That's not what I'm talking about. Screw your brains in a little tighter. What I'm talking about is from the point of view of these government, quote, whistleblowers about UFOs, from their point of view, why in the world would they not only associate themselves with Tom DeLonge, but sign on as permanent team members? Not just disclosures, but team members. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't add up. Something's going on there, whatever it is. That's part of the operation. So I've been writing a couple of articles about this, and in one of them, I've been referring back to other such operations in the history of UFOs and the UFO movement in the United States, where government insiders, to one degree or another, funneled information along to a civilian who became the spokesperson for, quote, the UFO movement, or a leading spokesperson for the UFO disclosure movement. And in the process, eventually, sooner or later, the press began poo-pooing and attacking and claiming that the information was bogus or the information was highly doubtful or questionable and so on and so forth. And then that piece of disclosure history died or shelved into the background, thus postponing the day when complete disclosure would have to be done, meaning everything that the U.S. secret establishment knows about UFOs, which was obviously, in these historical cases, the purpose to spread some truth, some lies, to bring down a certain amount of ridicule and scorn on the spokesperson who headed up, the civilian who headed up disclosure, fed information by government insiders. In other words, designed to fail. Designed to fail. To fail to achieve further disclosure or the deepest possible disclosure. Designed to fail. As I believe it's quite possible in this case as well that that is true. That at a high level of planning, the idea was in fact to find a spokesperson who could easily bring down the ridicule and scorn of the press and thereby seem to negate whatever disclosure was put forward, thus postponing the day for much, much deeper disclosure. So that is one vector of analysis, my analysis on what's going on here now. It may be the most important one. And supporting this, I would also say the following, that one of the members of Tom DeLonge's team is a guy named Steve Justice, who is the former program director at the Lockheed Skunk Works in Palmdale, California. He surely knows a great deal about the quality and the subject of research over a long period of time at the secret, ultra-secret Skunk Works. So that if indeed some kind of advanced secret technology, wherever it comes from, Nikola Tesla, earlier scientists on Earth, alien ET ships, recovered UFO, wherever it comes from, he would know a great deal about that. He could provide a tremendous amount of disclosure. You wouldn't have to look around and try to find somebody who could talk about this. So, let's talk to Steve. You know, it's as simple as that. If what you guys are all about is really deep disclosure, put Steve Justice front and center and let him start talking. Oh, but we can't do that. Why not? Well, the security oaths that he took are still in force and so forth. Well, yeah, but what about Luis Elizondo's security oaths and non-disclosure agreements with the Pentagon, where he worked as the director of this secret UFO research program for 5 years? How is he able to just simply talk out of school and actually show the world a video or two of a purported UFO and also say that materials from UFOs have been analyzed? What gives him the clearance to do that? That's another major curiosity here, which he's not talking about apparently, and mainstream reporters don't seem to be asking him about. So if he can do it, why can't Steve Justice do some of it at least? Doesn't add up, again. Does not add up. So at one level here, what I am saying is indeed it appears that this thing is designed to bring down ridicule and scorn and fail like other such partial disclosures, historically speaking, that have occurred. To muddy the water, to promote disinformation along with actual information, and so on and so forth, but ultimately to bring about a failure. Oh, but we don't like that idea. We want this to be real disclosure that's really true, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and it's pure, and it's just going to keep on building and building and building. Well, you may wish for that, but that doesn't mean that's what you're going to get, and it doesn't mean that's what you've gotten so far. Again, where I started was, I said this is about disclosure and also an operation. So we have seen some partial disclosure. We saw a couple of videos of the fighter jet off the coast of San Diego, and we heard a story, at least, about recovered materials from UFOs. That's called partial disclosure. So if you want to assume that it's all going to be rainbows and marshmallows from here on out, and we're just going to get more and more and more disclosure, you need to be a little bit more sentient and, I won't say cynical, but realistic, and analyze some of these curious events that have been happening and that I've just gone over. Now, there's another potential level of this operation that I want to talk about for a few minutes here. Money. Here's a curiosity. Supposedly, these UFO materials from recovered UFOs are being stored at a Las Vegas warehouse owned by a civilian named Robert Bigelow, who is a billionaire, made a lot of his money from Budget Suites of America, and has been a very active and deep UFO researcher for a very long time. What is he doing with UFO materials? Area 51 is not far away. There are also hundreds of high-level government labs around the country where this material could have been sent and analyzed. So how come he ends up with it? And also, how come the program itself, the funding for the secret Pentagon UFO research program that we're being told about by Luis Elizondo, who headed it up, how come that program, through Harry Reid and several other senators, funneled most or all of the $22 million to Robert Bigelow? Does he need the $22 million when he's already a billionaire? Does that make sense that he would get the $22 million? Not to me. Not to me. But on the other hand, some of these team members who have allied themselves now with Tom DeLonge and his at least partly commercial operation called To the Stars Academy, they could need money. If you're an ex-CIA case officer, high level, or even the former program director at the Lockheed Skunk Works, or even a former assistant secretary of defense, and there are other team members I could go into here, it's not guaranteed that after you retire from the government that you're going to be swimming in cash. Not at all. So the promise of some monetary reward from aligning oneself with a commercial, at least in part, commercial academy that intends to produce money-making films and sell merchandise and so forth, if you could get a cut of that action, or at least be paid a very significant amount of money from the fundraising efforts of the academy, that might be very good for you, because you did not leave the government flush with cash. And rather than trying to find a gig in the private sector, a more conventional gig, maybe you see an opportunity to make a fairly significant amount of money at the academy. Possibility. Possibility. Not sure. We don't know for sure about that. But that's also a line to look at here. Could Robert Bigelow be stepping up with his billions, however many they are, and actually beginning to fund, in part, DeLong's Academy? And in that way, these ex-government officials who are now working with DeLong could profit from that. They could be put on salary. They could get percentages of profits. They could get, quote, grants from Bigelow. That would be a gig in the private sector. So maybe there are some commercial considerations that are motivating some of these people to do what they're doing, even though on another level it doesn't make a lot of sense if their overriding goal is providing pure, unadulterated, uncriticizable UFO disclosure. Maybe the money is significant. In my opinion, Senator Harry Reid has always had a good nose for money in Nevada. And it's quite possible that you might find that if you looked at his financial picture before he went into the Senate many years ago, and now you would find that through whatever means, he's achieved a significant amount of wealth. Money, 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 money. Think about these things. They're very important. Last week, I wrote a longer piece about Luis Elizondo, top questions and doubts about Elizondo. And actually, I made a list of, I think it was about 17 questions that mainstream reporters should ask him, because he is now a source on a big, big story. He is not only a whistleblower, he is a source, big source for the New York Times, and therefore every other mainstream media outlet in the world. And one of those questions that I proposed that somebody ask Elizondo is, because of your career as a case officer in the intelligence community running high-level clandestine operations in Latin America, would you, if you thought it would forward an op, plant a false story in the press? Did you, in fact, ever plant a false story in the press? Because after all, he's the source on a major story himself now. And given his background, it seems like a reasonable question to ask. And there are many other questions to ask him. How did he gain clearance from his non-disclosure agreements and security oaths at the Pentagon to step forward into the light and begin to make a partial disclosure of the UFO matter? Many questions for Mr. Elizondo. Okay, so that is the gist of this week's report. From the evidence, those two theses, you might say, as to what's going on here: the money and the operation designed to fail. Designed to fail. Okay, Jimmy.
I'm here. Coffee just went down the wrong throat.
Oh, baby, I know how that feels.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Is this my take on it, John? If you had, just imagine, let's pick out a number. Let's say you were sitting on $60 million in the bank, liquid, right? Mm-hmm. And you had a deep fascination in the UFO question that goes back 20 years, and you're at a point in your life where you don't have to work, you don't have to do a dang thing but shop for diamond rings, right? And do what you want to do. Wouldn't you do it exactly as Tom is doing, or something very, very similar?
Absolutely. As I said, I'm not talking about Tom.
Well, but
I'm talking about the point of view of the people from the government who have aligned themselves with him.
Right. And so, and going back to this entire question, the way that the public is looking at Tom, and the question of, the MIC, the military industrial complex, and these strange ties in the CIA and Bigelow and the FTC and corporate filings and shares of stock. All of this, it's just the way that it is done. And for the public to ask all of these questions about Elizondo, or, you know what, if I could go and get Elizondo and Favor and Steve Justice and Mellon and Bigelow and the rest of the Pentagon and unite all of this because I have money to do it, then I would do it. Right?
I'm not questioning.
Yeah,
that. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think I would do the same thing. But why would they do it? Why would they decide that Tom DeLonge is the guy that they want to align with, rather than just saying, let's just us boys. We're the guys.
Right. There's no good guys out there. Right. There's somebody else. You know what? I'm going to do this for the spirit of it. I really believe in UFOs. I'm going to screw off the private sector. I could be running Elizondo could be running some intelligence research thing on K Street and make $1 million a year. He could go and do that. Right. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm not going to, because I believe in the UFOs. I'm going to take a salary cut. In fact, I'm going to do this for free until it starts to pay off. Those guys don't exist. Or is Elizondo really that guy? I don't know, man. I don't know. And Justice, when you think about this, certainly Justice, coming off of the heels of Skunk Works, could go and work and do whatever he wants. Why do this? Why? There's no payoff.
Okay, but you see, there's two thises here. There's the this of Justice and Elizondo and those other guys sitting down among themselves, no DeLonge, no anything, and because they know each other.
Sure.
And they sit down and they say, look, we want disclosure. Okay, we're going to do it our way without any outside interference, and we're going to make it happen, because then we have a great reputation, background, and so forth. Okay, that's this. The other this is, no, we're going to align ourselves with this guy who's a rock musician, who's made statements that obviously the press are going to be incredibly scornful about, and we're going to fly with him on this whole thing, which is just going to bring down the press on everybody's heads. Doesn't make sense.
I know it doesn't. And it is such a fascinating, it's like we're watching this drama play out in real time. This isn't some Tom Clancy novel here. This really did happen. And it really did go down, and it continues to go down. What's the end of the story? The end game? Oh, man. Well, we get to kick back and watch it, and you and I are part of it. That's the other thing, and it's really, really cool. Hey, John, thank you so much, my friend. Be safe out there. I know you're freezing cold. Throw another log on the fire. Have a great night, and we'll see you right here next Thursday.
Thank you, Jimmy.
You're the best, John. Thank you so much. Jon Rappoport, everybody. Again, start your day at nomorefakenews.com. All right. It's Thursday night, everybody. You know what that means. It's open lines now all night long. 323-825-5045. I'm going to open them up right now. I'm going to open them up right in front of you. There you go. Okay, one bank open. Man, that didn't take long. Okay. Lining them up. Your phone calls are next. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black, Fader Night. Stay there.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go back, Lee Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. That means Fader night. Open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Got lots to talk about tonight, and let's just get it going. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Nathan in Ohio.
Hi, Nathan in Ohio. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I called in regards to the Corey Good show, or the David Wilcock show, but I was going to say that it's strange because it kind of puts me between a rock and a hard place. The story that Corey Good's come out with over the last few years, there are things about it I truly do believe, and there are things that seem like, not like he's lying, but because I've had so much contact, I know that it's hard to tell without training yourself to remember just what's going on and how to interpret things. And he claims to be, interpreting messages from them for people. So...
Right.
It's like...
okay, go ahead. It's like what?
It's kind of like Al Bielek's story. If you remember Al Bielek's story.
Sure.
It's something that there's not... You got to kind of take it on faith.
Well, we have to take you on faith, too.
I agree. That's the disappointing thing. And like my story is just as outrageous as his.
That's right, it is. And this is the other point. You know, you have your own experiences, right? So when somebody else, and I say this all the time, Nathan, when somebody else has their own experiences, then you have to listen. Because if you, anybody out there, I'm not speaking about you specifically, but if anybody out there says, you know what, his experience didn't happen, mine did. Or I only believe part of his, but you have to believe all of mine. It just doesn't, it can't, the world cannot work that way. The reason why I listen to everybody, which includes you, includes Corey, anybody else that calls on this show, or anybody that I interview, I listen to everybody because I've witnessed my own things. I haven't figured it out. I don't know what's going on, but that's it. I listen to everybody. It's up to all of us to use our own judgment, our own discernment, to be skeptical and to listen to everybody so we can figure this out. How many times do I have to quote, Nathan, really quick, how many times do I have to quote Giorgio Tsoukalos on this show with that quote of his, which is, you know what? E.T. lands, man, and he gets off that ship and starts telling us what's going on. We're going to find out that we were all wrong. And that includes you, Nathan. It includes me. It includes Corey. You know, so until then, all we can do is listen to everybody. Because us, you and I and Corey and this audience and all the guests that we have on this show, we are all we've got. And we have to stand together. We have to stand shoulder to shoulder and throw everything out there. And this is this is probably the most important part with all of this. There is no question that the numbers say that there are tens of millions of planets that can support life. That's the number. That's just the math. So if that is indeed the case, who you've experienced or what your encounters are, or mine or Corey's, chances are they're not even the same. They're not.
Right.
They're not. They're simply not. You know, and find comfort in that. That way you know that you're not crazy. I have no idea some of the things that I've seen and what they are and what they represent and who's piloting these things, if they're remote, if there's, you know, life on these. I don't have any of those answers. I do know it's not anything that we're supposed to have. That's it. I don't have any other way to look at it than that. You know, and it's just the way that it is. So Nathan, just keep moving along. We are, just like John had just said, we're going to move along through 2018, and we're going to figure things out. And there's going to be more stuff ahead. We know that we can't go backwards, and that's what we have going for us. All right, my friend?
All right.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you, Nathan. It's a great phone call right there. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Chris from New York. How you doing, man?
Hey, Chris from New York. How are you, man?
Good, brother. First of all, let me just say congratulations on hitting the top 25 in the nation. You deserve it.
That was surprising, but cool at the same time. But I appreciate that.
Yeah.
What part of New York?
Very cool. Very cool.
What part of New York?
I'm in Rockland County, just outside of Manhattan, about 30 minutes.
Oh, right on. Right
so
on.
We're thawing out. We're hitting like almost 60 degrees tomorrow after being about -6 last week.
Yeah, Rita and Deanna were just out of Manhattan a couple of weeks ago for a vacation, and the same thing happened to them. They had like they got there, it was okay. Then they had like 2 days of freezing, and then 2 or 3 days of 50, 60 degrees. They were like, man, it was just nuts out there.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane here. Anyway, real quick comment before my question. I just want to say, yesterday when you and David were talking about sitting at the restaurant for 4 hours and the people giving you sideways glances, man, brother, I wouldn't have given you a sideways glance. I would have looked right at you and said, thank you. E.T. and heavy metal, what else is there?
I know, right?
What else is there?
It was. Does it get any better than that? Oh, no, what you do, though, hold on, you left out the trifecta. It's heavy metal, E.T., and food. Right.
Oh, of course. How could I forget that? Of course.
I know, man. It was perfect. It was perfect. All right. So what's on your mind?
Anyway, okay. So listen, one thing I've been dying to ask Corey. I was so upset he wasn't there last night, but David's great also. Corey and David are really the two guys responsible for my awakening, and I've just been loving this ride. But one thing that's been bugging me for a while is this thing about this Muhammad Accord stuff. You know, it's you know how it is. It's so frustrating hearing some of this stuff where you're like, all of a sudden now certain groups are bucking it and they're interfering when they weren't supposed to. But, it gets to me because it's like, it's like on their terms that these little things, like he said, going through our dreams and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe I just want to rip the Band-Aid off. I'm sick of the tedium and the kind of the slow drip. I'm like, come on.
Right.
This kind of thing that if they're going to do this, if they decided some of these groups go, you know what, it's time to intervene. We got to help.
Right.
Then do it.
Right.
I love Corey's story, and I trust me, I do support him. I'm not criticizing the guy. I think he's great, and I love David too. But I'm just saying, man, like, I love that we're moving ahead a little bit. This December 16th, I know there's a lot of criticism about it, but it's making me feel good. I'm getting juiced up here now. Let's get moving on this, But I don't know. I'm still in that frustrated mode.
Well, and look, this is the thing, and this is really the truth. Would you want it another way right now? Right now, today, would you want it another way? In that you've seen something strange in the sky, and now you've had a little mild disclosure from what appears to be Washington and December 16th, and what Corey Good is talking about and other contactees out there. This is a fun time to just kind of ride this out. Because the drama, right, this soap opera is playing out right in front of us, man. It's like get a bowl of popcorn, right, and let's just go and ride this out. Because what's the alternative? What if we were back to where we were a year ago, which is screaming at Washington for info, questioning this video, questioning this reacher, this contactee, all of and we just sit here and just speculate amongst ourselves. Or today, look at today. We've got the Nazca mummies, we've got Peruvian skulls, we've got the new chamber above the King's the gallery in the Great Pyramid. We've got Tom DeLonge and I've just created Corey. We've got all this just wonderful stuff that is starting to unravel, man, and I dig it.
But I do too, man. I dig it too. And you and I know that, and our ilk know it, and the people that are awakening every day know it. But, I try to tell people this, and even my family who sympathize, it's like by inches, I'm getting them to move forward a little bit, but they still look at me like, oh man, you got to stop. This is a little too much. And that's what I mean, though. It's like we're going still slow. I love it. And you're right. The soap opera is unfolding. It's moving forward, but it's just a little slow. And I'm worried also about this other stuff that a lot of these guys are talking about, David and everybody, about these mass arrests. If some of these people do have some power left and they're scared and they feel it coming and they're getting nervous. You were talking about alien invasion at the top of the show. Mm-hmm. You left out one other possibility. What about a calculated cabal ARV attack?
That's right.
If they want to take the emphasis off of them, if they're all going to go to jail, if Trump's getting Gitmo ready for people and they go, hey man, let's just launch these things and distract everybody and send the world into a tizzy.
Right.
And they're not really teased. It's just us attacking ourselves.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought too.
Yeah, David talked about that I think last month on the show, that that's one of the last cards that they would have to play, right? And certainly for deflection and distraction off of what could possibly be going down with these mass arrests. And again, that's another scenario here that we do have to consider. I will say this though. You just mentioned, and Chris, thank you for the just absolute brilliant phone call. But let's consider this for a second. You said it's starting to slow down. That this wasn't fast enough. But Tucker Carlson tonight, prime time on Fox, got Leslie Kane on there and talking about disclosure and what is going on. So it hasn't.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it hasn't led up yet. All right, so
that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about it. Like, that's great, and that's progress, and I totally acknowledge that. I'm with you there, man. But I'm just worried that that stuff's just going to fizzle out. I guess I'm just paranoid because we're used to this. We're used to these kind of little blips on the map where it starts to flare up, and we're like, oh, and then all of a sudden it goes away. Something draws it away, and I'm just nervous it's going to be that same routine again.
Well, the reason why this isn't, and it hasn't yet, Chris, and again, find comfort in this, as twisted of a thought as this is, for the mainstream media, this isn't a UFO story. This isn't Travis Walton being abducted for 5 days. As amazing for, and I know Travis, but the example is this. If Travis Walton's story had the Pentagon involved, had gun camera footage, had a secret Pentagon program and a senator involved, that story would still be out there today. So that's why this story will have legs for the media. They have other stuff to talk about here besides the ET question. The ET question is the icing on that little cupcake right now. That's the icing on the cake. So there you go. Hey, Chris, thank you, my friend.
Hey, brother, thank you.
Stay warm out there.
Thanks, Jimmy. You too. Keep rocking, my friend. Take care.
Thank you so much. Great phone call right out of New York. And you know it's cold out there right now. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. You are live. Okay, let's go to the next one. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Turn me down.
Hi, this is Ricardo.
Hey, Ricardo, turn me down in the background. Okay.
Yeah, it's Ricardo calling off.
Okay, you got to turn me down in the background, Ricardo.
All right, 1 second.
Okay, no, I can't wait. Okay, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing, boss? I just want to congratulate you on your awards and everything you've been getting all this time that you've been on the air. My concern is I'm not sure if you think this is the same thing that you think about the conspiracy Illuminati cards. Are you familiar with those, right?
Yes.
Okay, so wouldn't you think that maybe the government is preparing a false UFO invasion? As you know, there's one of them, and the Illuminati cards. I'm not sure if you're aware of it.
Right, but Ricardo, you've got to turn me down in the background. But I'll answer your question off of the air. Okay, I can't listen to myself in the background. Sorry about that, Ricardo. Yeah, that Illuminati card that everybody is talking about is there. And I've laid it out. This is the thing that I want everybody to consider. I laid it out at the beginning of the show. Why I don't think it's going to be what everybody is expecting, a fake alien invasion. I just don't see it playing out. It's too easy, just too easy to figure out. So the Illuminati, I know. I gotta get a tarot expert on here to break that down. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. This is Jamie from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Hey, Jamie,
first-time caller
from the UP. How far up?
Yeah.
How far up into the UP are you?
I'm about 2 hours north of Green Bay. Calling from Escanaba.
Oh man, you're way up there. All right.
Yeah. Up here it's nice. Cold outside. Oh man!
You guys even have the internet.
Beautiful.
Huh? You have the internet.
We even got the internet.
Wow.
We got your show. That's awesome.
Right on, man.
But hey, I just want to call. I got your Fade to Black T-shirt in the mail the other day. Freaking awesome.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, love the disclaimer on the back and then on the bottom where go back Lee Tempe. Love that.
Okay, man.
But the best thing about it, come autographed. Didn't expect that. So that is so cool. You got a Fade or Not fan for life. For sure.
There you go, man. Thank you so much for that. And
hey,
it was just one of those days. You got the lucky. See, now that you've said that on the air, everybody's going to expect that. It was one of those things. I had like a pile, 20 or 30 shirts in front of me, and I was like, man. And I was at my shippers, and everybody was busy, and I had no phone. It was like I was just standing. I was like, you know what, man? I'm signing all of these shirts. So I just went through and so you're one of the ones that got them. So right on, man.
Hey, it was so nice. It's going in the curio cabinet, and I did order another one. So I need one to wear.
I've often thought about that right there. I told somebody the other day. I said, dude, Never wash this shirt. Just let it get ripe. Just let it get ripe. Okay, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, that's just pretty much. I'll probably pass it over to another Fader Not to call in, but I just wanted to thank you for that.
No, you're more than welcome, and first time caller, all of that. Welcome to the family, and stay warm and go cheeseheads, all that stuff. All right, my man.
Thank you. Hey, and everybody else, they need to jump on with Tom DeLong there, man. He's for real.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. See, does it get any better than a call like that? Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. You're live. Okay.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, what's up, man?
You're live.
How you doing?
You're live on the air right now.
All right, Jimmy, I got something to say to you. It's about the Stevensville lights back in, 2008?
Oh, Stevensville, Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, this is the weird thing. I was out at my parents' ranch out in eastern New Mexico. At the time that all happened.
Yeah.
And that particular night, I was sitting at my house, at Blue Ranch House out there on the ranch, and I had two F-22 Raptors fly over that evening toward Lubbock, Brownfield, Lubbock area. I mean, they was like probably 100 yards off the ground, right?
Right.
They rattled my house. By the time I got up from my desk and went to the front door, they was over Comanche Hill, halfway toward Lubbock. Now, I've never heard of anybody talking about, they said the F-18s was up and everything around there, because I was listening to Coast that night. I'm a avid Coast listener. And I couldn't figure out what's going on, because I've never heard because it was at nighttime, and I've never heard or seen that type of flight direction from Holloman over the Capitan Mountains.
Well, did you see any lights? Oh, you got to turn me down in the background, man.
No, I didn't see any lights. They was actually headed towards Stevensville. And they was on a direct flight.
But it was on the same night.
Towards Lubbock.
Okay.
That night, yes. That particular night. And there was two of them. And they was not side by side. There was one right after the other. And, they was supersonic at about 300 feet off the ground.
So you think that's what was going on? You thought that they were heading over to Stevensville to chase these lights out?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think some of the witnesses, it's been so long since I've checked that case out. I do know them. We've had them on the show before, but they all, I believe they reported planes did show up from the Air Force. I don't think they were able to identify if they were F-22 Raptors or not. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, I went to school. I was over there going to the New Mexico State the semester before, and I was there at EMU there in Roswell, going and doing some business classes there, and I actually went out there at Holloman and got a little scale model, the F-22s. When they decommissioned the what do they call that?
F-117. Yeah.
Okay. So I up close to them, but that night, those are what would come from Holloman, right? That was the only active airplanes that they had on that base, and it was brand new, and they was headed east. And straight east outside of Roswell, between Roswell and Brownfield, Texas. Lubbock and that area, and they was on a straight beeline toward whatever was going on over there at Stephenville that night.
Thank you for the phone call, and it's interesting that was on the very same night as the Stevensville sightings. The thing is, out there in Roswell, in that general area, there is there's Albuquerque. There are the different Air Force bases there. There's White Sands. There's a lot of things happening, but it's all spread out. And until you've been to Roswell or that part of the country and you know exactly what's going on, there ain't nothing out there, man. So if you're going to see something in the sky and it's going in that direction, that could be exactly what was going on. Well, all right. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to everybody. It's Thursday night. It's Fader Night. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Area code 720. You're up after the break. Stay right there.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Let's go straight back to the phones. Area code 720. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, this is Rod, man. How you doing, Jimmy?
Hey, man. How are you?
All right. You remember me from Coast to Coast? I talked to you in May 2017. Around Greer was on that night, and I was the one that seen the UFO with a window. My name's Rodney. I talked to you.
Okay. Well, Rodney, I'll take your word for it. How's that?
Okay.
I mean, you got to remember that was 1,000 phone calls ago.
That was a long time ago. I'm sure. Hey, but anyways, I love Jon Rappoport. I heard him, and I with this UFO disclosure deal and stuff. And there's maybe more to it or not. I think the government knows, but I don't think they know enough because what I seen that night, and I actually seen it. These guys are pretty smart,
right? And
so I think the deal is that they're trying to, Tom guy and Bigelow, they might get a knock on the door from the ETs themselves one of these days. What? And that may be a contact situation, or it may be a blowing smoke and throwing everybody off because of other political reasons. But that's one of my theories. What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, the thing is, and Rodney, thank you for the phone call, but I think the point needs to always be driven home here, which is, you've seen things yourself. So you know that there is something going on. And we're just trying to get to the bottom of it, but you don't need to be convinced. We just need to find out the why, right? And that's what we're pushing forward here with, Rodney. And like I said, you don't need proof, and that's really where I'm at. I don't need proof. I just want to know what is going on and why. That's all. It's not that big of a deal. I have a lot of comfort in that. Hey, Rodney, behave and be well, man.
All right. Hey, thanks, Jimmy. You have a good night. It's good talking to you.
Yeah, you too, Rodney. Thank you so much. But that's the most valid point that I think we can all make here, and I think it's the most important one. Especially when you've seen something. When you've seen something and you've witnessed something that there's no explanation for. I mean, this. Well, somebody telling you that they're not real isn't going to fly anymore. So that's the best part about Tom. All right, let's go to area code 281. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello?
Yeah, you're up.
Hey, this is Todd. This is Todd from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Hey, Todd, how are you?
Doing good. Hey, I have two questions for you.
Sure.
One, have you heard anything about any new news about the Bible Code? Haven't heard much about that lately.
Yeah. The answer is no. I mean, I haven't. Richard Shaw, the one that does the Torah codes, and a couple of others that do the Bible code stuff. I haven't done a show on that in a couple of years. So no, the answer is no. I haven't heard anything lately.
Gotcha. Second thing, I am going to do my first UFO conference in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, here in a couple of months.
Right.
And as a first timer, is there any advice that that may be useful for me? Other than being open-minded and all that, but and getting a picture with Linda Moulton Howe, she'll be there.
Right.
What do you have any advice on that?
Yeah, at Ozark, I'm going to give you the best advice, and you don't even know about this. Okay, they have got an outdoor lounge. And that outdoor, I'm telling you right now, you're going to find out the first night that you're there. You're going to go, this is what Church was talking about. Oh, he was right. I get it. Okay? That is where you want to go and hang out. All the researchers are going to be there. Ray Hobbs is going to be there. FADERNIGHT are going to be there. Everybody from KGRA. But they're all going to be sitting around having a really good time, and very, very cool conversation. Now, the conference itself, go and have fun. Like I said, you're right. Have an open mind and go and mingle. Take your pictures but I'm telling you right now, when you leave the conference, it's that lounge that you are going to go, wow, that was really, really cool. Okay, so there's my tip. All right, fair enough.
Awesome. Thank you. Fair enough. Thank you very much, Jimmy, and congratulations on 4 years.
Yeah, thank you so much, and have a good time. And it's right there in your neighborhood too. So. And I can't believe it's your first time up there, but that's a really big conference. So go have a good time.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you. Great phone call. All right. Yeah, let's just keep it going. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, my name is Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. How are you?
I'm good, man. I've listened to your show for quite a while, usually when I'm working, but never called in. Figured I'd call in and ask a question.
Does your boss know that you're calling me right now?
Oh, I am the boss.
No, what? Now, what if? Okay, how many employees are there with you?
Right now, none. Nobody likes to work this. I'm usually here.
Oh, I get it. I was going to say, what happens when you catch somebody, listening to late night UFO talk radio?
If I heard anybody listening to late night UFO, I might give them a raise.
Yeah, right on, man. Right on. Kevin, what's on your mind?
I have a question, probably a little strange, but in all your years of doing what you do, or maybe talking to people, has anybody seen a UFO up close? I don't even call them UFOs anymore. I call them things in the sky.
Well, what do you mean up close?
To decipher what would be underneath them. I've seen. The reason I'm calling is because I've seen one up close.
How close?
Like probably within about 30 feet.
Oh, that's close. Okay. All right, continue.
And I saw something underneath.
Underneath the surface of the craft.
Ship, yes.
Underneath the skin of the craft. Not underneath like the bottom of it, but you're saying...
Oh, no. It was like if you would think of an actual flying disc.
Okay.
And it was kind of strange because it wasn't spinning at all.
Right. How big was it?
The base of it, if I had to guess, I would say, oh man, it's so hard to guess something like that. But it was probably wasn't really huge. It wasn't really big at all. It was probably the size of two sides of the street.
Okay. All right. So 30, 40 feet across. Maybe more.
Maybe a little larger than that. I mean, because
right.
I was in a 4-lane, like 2 lanes on one side, 2 lanes on the other side, and
so where? Okay, Kevin, give me the lay of the land here. Where did you see this? Well, was it at your house, or is it
driving on? It was actually 30 in the morning, driving on my way to my house.
Okay,
and this was actually 2013.
What state?
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Okay. Continue. So you're driving and you see it.
Driving home, I literally see something. At first, I didn't know what it was, and I looked up, and I wasn't afraid or anything like that. But there was a couple of things that were really unique to me. I always keep a camera on the bottom of my floorboard because I take pictures every day. And it's a Nikon D7. I had a D7000 face down in a bag. And this thing was right above my car, probably about 25 feet. I'm looking right at it, and I literally am ducking down and looking through the windshield. And I see this rotating pattern of red that looks like fiber optics. But it's not fiber optics. It's literally was moving in a clockwise pattern. And it looked like some sort of like these old school things back in the 70s I used to see when I was a child.
Yeah, the fiber optic. Yeah,
would like glow.
Yeah.
That's sort of what it looked like, but it would spin around and it was red. No sound at all. No sound at all, man. Freaky. And the second I reached my camera, to take a picture of this thing. I flipped the switch on, and it's almost like I had a thought to take a picture of it. And the second I went to take that picture, when I flipped the camera on, it was gone.
Now, okay, so you see it from about 30 feet away. It's 40 feet or more across. You're thinking it's, a couple of roads wide. That's pretty big. You're driving, but you got a good look at it.
I stopped my car in the middle of the road.
Right.
It was above my car.
Right. And
we're not talking about a rural area. We're talking about the middle of just a main highway in the middle of my city.
Right.
At 3:30, it was about 3:30 in the morning. Now this story gets a little bit more unique.
Okay.
Because after this happens, I drive. I'm going back to I got to go home. So I start down the road a little bit. Probably about, I don't even know how far. It wasn't feet. It was a distance down the road into the next big intersection. And I see a cop car. And the cop car is literally, I could tell it wasn't normal that he pulled over on the side of the road. He was literally stopped in the middle of, it was actually in front of a Pure Imports, believe it or not. And he was turned around facing the road that I was on. And I just stopped in front of his car. And I got in my car, put my hands in the air. I said, look, I'm not here to freak you out. I know it's late. And he had his door open.
Uh-huh.
I looked at him and I said, I just got to ask you a question. Did you see that? And he didn't ever take his eyes off of the screen on his dash.
Right.
He looked at me. He says, yeah, I saw it. And he started waving me over to his car. I knew he would. It wasn't normal because, a cop doesn't want.
No. Especially at that time of the day or morning. Right. Right.
He says, I saw it. He says, and I got it on video.
Oh, really? All right, Kevin.
Me and this guy watched this. Go ahead.
No. This is all you, man. We
watched it about 15 to 20 times in his car. And after that, I gave him my card and I said, I don't know where this will ever be. I said, but if it ever ends up we're in a place where you need a witness, please call me. And I never heard from him again. But how unique, man. I've never told the story to anyone.
How big, Kevin? We have to back up into the story, though. We got to talk about what you saw underneath the skin. But let's stay with the cop for a second. How big was this craft on his dash cam video?
You saw a ball of light
in
his dash cam video.
Right.
It was like I guess like an infrared type looking camera that he had, and you can see the road, and all of a sudden you saw this huge white flash, and all of a sudden it stopped for a second, and then it flew away in like seconds.
Now,
it was amazing.
So did he see the craft too as well?
Oh, yeah, he did. He was freaked out.
Did you guys talk about it?
We did. I even asked him if heard anything on dispatch. He even radioed into another person on the next street and asked him if they saw anything like a flying helicopter over it. And the people asked him if he was okay. He said, "Oh yeah, I was just wondering." He played it off. But it really was cool, man.
Yeah, no, this is great. Did he see the red that you were talking about? The red swirling fiber optics?
No, I never even asked him about that. I didn't think about that until I processed it later.
Sure. Now, did he say if he?
But I remember focally looking at that, going, "Damn, that's wild." But the other thing that I remember mostly is that there was no sound at all. You didn't hear shit. So I don't even know if you said it.
No, you can't, but you did. You can't, but you did. Hey, so Kevin.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, man. That's okay. Did he ever say the word UFO?
He didn't say any. Dude, he was freaked out.
Right.
He was really freaked out. I've researched these things quite a bit, but it didn't freak me out. I mean, to me, I see all these people always talking about, you know, if I see one or take me with you, I'm like, man, you don't realize what you're asking.
Right.
So I'm that guy, you know, because I've done all the research where they, you know, when they find them, the first thing they do is open the craft. The next thing, you know, you have bacteria. If you breathe it in, you're dead.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't just do that. You know, you people are not, they need to be a little bit more educated in ufology before they understand that. Don't just walk up to a craft and go, hey, buddy, can I have a ride?
Oh, I would, but that's
to
me.
See one like that.
Yeah. Kevin.
It was pretty impressive.
Let's back up. Let's back up, my brother. Okay, now let's you know, put the car in reverse. You said that you saw something when you saw it 30 feet away, that there was something going on underneath the surface of the craft. Yeah. Now, that's interesting. Now, look, I have the closest I have seen anything. Now, luckily, I had 100 or 200 witnesses with me, and this was up at ESETI. But I'm going to say that this craft was still, everybody says it was really low, but low is relative in that you have the stars, right? You have satellites, you know, things way up there. And then something that's maybe a half mile in the sky, you know, 2,000 feet. And, you know, that's what I'm going to say that this craft was. It was probably 2,000, 3,000 feet. It was oval, disc-shaped. It appeared to be flat. I can't really, but other than that, I can't really, it changed colors. We all saw it do that. It looked like like a pearl. Okay, so just imagine like a glowing pearl that had the light blue in it and the light pink, and it's it's glowing. Not too bright though, you know. But that's as close as I've been. But so if you're going to ask me if there was anything under the surface or anything, no, I couldn't tell you. You know, this is.
I was curious, man, because like I've done research and. People ask me questions all the time, and I talk to them about it because I feel like you need to. Because if someone's curious, look, alien is not one of the most searched words on Google for no reason. People are interested.
That's right.
Okay, like
you're right
they are, and I think that to be honest with people is definitely the number one thing more than anything.
So what did you see? What did you see under the skin?
Man, I saw something red moving in a clockwise rotation.
And what do you mean something?
I don't know what it was. Whatever it was, the only thing I can honestly say that is anything I've ever seen in a movie, anything I've ever seen even remotely similar. You ever seen the movie, and I hate to say his name, but Charlie Sheen, he was in a movie called The Wraith.
And which one?
There's a movie called The Wraith. It was WRAITH.
Yes. I admit it. I've seen it.
Like years ago, it was a guy. He died or something in a movie, and he came back, and he was this wraith, and he was avenging his killers or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
The car in the movie, it had some kind of red glowing to it.
Okay.
That's as close as I can possibly explain it.
And you say it was counterclockwise, right?
Yeah. It's almost like it moved, and then whenever it would it's almost like kind of like it would move in a pattern, and all of a sudden it would stop, and then it would start moving again in the same pattern. It didn't go really fast. It just worked on its own energy.
Were there any other reports, Kevin, in the area?
No.
The next day, the news, the newspaper?
No. The only other person I've ever talked, I was at a party. You get everything under the sun. If you talk about anything like this, people look at you like you're crazy, especially here,
Mm-hmm.
Well, really anywhere, I guess. But I think it's opening up a lot more in the last 4 years. But I'm not scared to talk about it. If you don't like me, you don't like me. I don't care. So it's, I had one guy actually tell me that the same street that I was on, he saw a very similar thing at around the same time, probably 2 years prior to when I saw it.
Oh, really?
Which was interesting.
Yeah, that's really
very interesting. So, I don't live that way home anymore at that time. But I mean, you know, I always figure if you're going to see something that close, you know, there's a reason. And if there's not, it's just a weird coincidence. And if I ever see another one, I'm going to try to get another photo of it because I usually have a camera with me.
Right.
But the other thing that, like I said, was strange. It seemed to know what I was thinking because the second I turned my photo camera to on, that's when it was gone.
Well, it could have been, you know, if you think about it, right? Whether it is, let's say there was something on this craft, right? You know, a being on this craft. And that type of intelligence, right? Now, if it was a helicopter, at night, out there in the field, they've got night vision, and what are they doing out there hovering in front of your car? They're looking at you. They're looking at you. They're not looking at the car, right? So now
well, if it was a helicopter, first of all.
Well, hold on, Kevin. That's not what I'm suggesting. Right. What I'm suggesting is now we got to put it in the eyes of ET. Now we've got an advanced craft with somebody on board hovering in front of your car. What do you think they're doing? They're not looking at the car. They're looking at you. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, you're right.
And so they see you reaching for something. Could be a weapon, right? They don't know. Could be.
And they were,
or they could be saying, you know what? He's going to take a picture of us. Let's split.
Yeah.
You know, now
I don't know if you've ever held a Nikon camera in your hand.
I have.
I mean, you have a Nikon camera with a battery grip at the base.
Yep.
And literally, the second you turn the on switch with your index finger, that's how fast it was gone.
Yeah, and the whole camera lights up too as well, right? So
yeah, but it didn't even. I didn't even have time to pull it out. It was stuck. It was in the bag facing down.
Yeah.
When I turned the camera on, and I didn't even pull it out the bag.
Right.
It was gone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, they're watching you. Yeah. I mean, it's plain as day, man. You're reaching for something.
Well, I don't doubt I don't doubt they're watching me. I'm pretty interesting, but.
So, and thank you for the phone call. I've got to head towards a break, but when you got the word, back in December with all of this in the mainstream media and, what we're calling disclosure.
Yeah.
And you've had your sighting, right? How did that make you feel?
Right. I saw that video 5 years ago, man. I think that was an F-14 video footage through, I guess, what you would see through the black box camera of like a commercial airline or something.
Yeah.
Like what you see before they make the shot or something.
Could be. I mean, they're calling it gimbal footage.
Yeah.
So there's a gimbal camera on the front of the airplane, that's on a gimbal that can move around.
Yeah. I've seen the footage of the entire fleet, and I've actually seen that video before.
So no big surprise for you. I mean, but
not at all.
The reason why I'm asking you, did it make you feel good? Were you relieved, and now you can go and dance in the streets and talk to people?
The number, you know what I really felt? I said to myself, William Cooper could not be here, but you know what? I was happy for him, wherever he might be.
Right on. Oh, Kat.
That's actually what I thought to myself.
Kat out in Louisiana, I don't know if you're on Twitter, but she wants to know
what's that?
She wants to know where in Louisiana. She says, we are few and far between.
Oh. It was if you really want to know the exact location, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I do want to know. Everybody wants to know.
It was Johnston Street in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Johnston Street in Lafayette. At least you didn't say Slidell. You're supposed to laugh at that point. You were supposed to laugh, Kevin.
Slidell's every place in Louisiana is interesting.
Slidell is a trippy town, man. Slidell. I got some really
cool.
Yeah, it is cool, man. I got I got some cool friends in Slidell. Every time somebody says Slidell, you know what I do?
Yeah.
I laugh. Man. Slidell is a trippy place, man. It is cool. It's beyond cool. Well, there you go, Kat. He's in Slidell. I don't know where Kat is at. Kat, I know you're listening. Are you on Twitter, Kevin?
Yes.
And who are you on Twitter?
I am actually, I think it's Live and Local LA.
Okay, well, man, jump over here on hashtag F2B, Live and Local in Louisiana. I got you. There you go. She said, that's not too far. Okay, so there you go. All right. So, yeah, come and hang out with us on Twitter. I've got to head towards a commercial break. This is why that was a great sighting and great phone call, Kevin. Don't be a stranger. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, man. Have a good day.
That's a good phone call right there. Thank you, Kevin. Be safe out there. And so it's Lafayette, Johnston Street. And thank you for that disclosure part because, there's going to be somebody out there going, you know what? I think I remember that. I think I remember that craft. All right. If you're on hold, stay right there. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls next. Why? Because it's Fader Night. Stay with us.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black?
Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. If you're on hold, stay right there. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Let's go back to the phones. Area code 208. You're up next. Who's calling?
Hello.
Yes.
How's it going, Jimmy? I really love your shows. First-time caller.
And what's your name?
You can call me Squid.
Squid. Okay, Squid. All right, fair enough. You can call me Jimmy. What's on your mind, Squid?
Well, I'd like to I noticed something on Corey's new video that he just put out. It was really weird. I don't know if anybody else saw this, but I noticed his eyes had little slits in them.
On Corey's new video? What, for Gaia?
Yeah.
You mean on Gaia?
Right.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know if it's just maybe a lighting thing or what, but I thought it was weird, and I thought he looked really sick, too.
Wow. I knew he was a reptilian. I knew it. So you're saying that Corey's mask slipped?
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Exactly. Maybe the Draco he ran into, maybe it's got some kind of hold on him.
Yeah,
too.
that's interesting. Nobody else has mentioned anything about this, so let's put this out there on Twitter right now. And, you know, Corey's probably listening right now, but has anybody seen Corey's new video?
I got one thing to say, too, and just because I'm not giving my real identity, that I was born with an elongated skull, and my mother is a reptilian.
Okay, so you would know if you now. Could that be why you recognize this, and maybe nobody else has seen it?
I don't think it possibly could be.
Huh. Wow, that's really, really interesting. So, well, somebody just posted here. Now he doesn't look sick, but they didn't mention anything about his eyes. So that's really interesting, man. Okay, I will have to note that.
And I'm not saying reptilians are bad because, you know, I just recently just come to terms that my mother's a reptilian, and she just admitted it to me like this year. I'm almost 50 years old, and this is something I've been holding for a long time.
Right.
But yeah, everything's all coming together, you know, for a reason, you know, and we're all seeing these same things. And I recognize Corey from somewhere. He actually has been triggering memories in me.
Wow.
And I've been getting messages that someday we will be bumping into each other again, and he will be revealing me some memories when I see him again.
Oh, that's really, really cool. Are you coming out to any of the conferences? Are you coming out to?
I probably will not be.
Okay, because
I really don't go out in public a lot.
Well, that's an opportunity to go and go up to him and say hello. You can grab me and I'll introduce you to him. But I do find that really interesting that you noticed this. And now that we're talking about it, everybody's going to go look at the videos and take some stills. And I'll talk to Corey tomorrow.
Right.
I'll talk to Corey tomorrow, man. I'll go, dude, man, you letting your reptilian side slip?
I hope he gets well. It's a terrible thing. He's so sick.
Yeah,
also, I have some other stories too. You know, I constantly have UFO sightings constantly. In this last few years, I've been working on a medical grow in Northern California, and we have quite a few stories about that too.
How far north?
A lot of things blinking in and out, and then this last time actually was quite different. I might have a theory on the Northern California fires. I've seen these things flying around I've never seen before. They're kind of snake-like in how they were moving, and they never moved in the same pattern. There was always two of them.
Right.
And one night, it was towards the last night I was there, there was this little blinky thing that came in. The little blinky thing is the thing that I would normally see. And it was out of place because it usually was only in one spot the only time I saw it. And I'd only maybe would see it like once a year. And this time, this blinky thing went in between these two things. And then I saw like what looked like a shooting star go in front of like one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, that's strange. Maybe that's just a shooting star.
Right.
And then the other one had one go in front of it. So what my theory is maybe those were possibly warning shots. And then maybe these things are getting shot out of the sky or something, and pieces are falling to the ground, catching fire.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, right. Like a firefight, a dogfight going on in the sky, debris that is burning from these craft fell to the ground and started the fires.
It could possibly be.
Now, let me go back to, if you don't mind, Squid. You mentioned that your mom was is a reptilian, or was. I don't know if she's still here or not. I had
she's still here.
I had a guest on the show. He's a comedian, and at dinner one night, and we had a bunch of people over. I'm trying to think what the situation was, but we were having a dinner party over at the house, and he was invited. And he tells us at dinner that he was sitting with his girlfriend, and he looks over at her, and at that moment, she shapeshifted and went straight reptilian right in front of him, and then changed back. And she was looking at him like, and she said, what are you looking at? And I don't remember the other part of the story. I don't know if he told us on the air. He may have. But I don't remember if it was confrontational at that point, or if he didn't, if he didn't say anything to her at all, what he had just seen. Now, I know this guy. He's cool. He's smart. He's on his game. He's a very talented professional comedian. That's what he does. And it was an interesting thing to hear from somebody that you know and you trust, and he's looking at you with a straight face, and he lays this story out, and it was a game changer for me. So is that what was going on with your mom? How do you know that she was a reptilian?
Okay, now this is an interesting story. Okay, so I was about 3 or 4 years old.
Right.
And my mother, young Korean immigrant, she's taking care of her first child. I'm a little hellion. I'm all over the place. I got a lot of energy. I think I hit a trigger in her where she got so mad at me, and she revealed her face, which I've always thought it was like a wolf or a dog face, this whole time up until I saw a picture this year of a Chinese dragon, very hairy, maybe even kind of aquatic looking, but very dog face looking. So I was like, oh my God, my mother's a reptilian.
Right.
And I just recently, come to that. So we were at dinner once, the whole family, and I come up and I asked her, I said, hey, do you remember this when I was a little kid, And her answer to me was, how can you remember that?
Oh, really?
And so, yeah.
You don't
so
need
anyway,
to,
what happened to me when she revealed her face to me is I basically had a heart attack, and I literally felt like a piece of food, and I passed out, and I remember my mother picking me up, and I'm like in and out of consciousness, and she's putting me back to bed, and I could see half of her face is still that way as I'm going back to sleep, and it's scaring me so bad I'm like crying like so bad I can't catch my breath. And like finally, like she gets me to sleep, and I've had that memory, for the whole time. I remember at least once a day.
Yeah, of course you would. Now, you said that you asked your mom about that, but have you asked your mom directly? Mom, what's up?
Yeah, she won't deny it, but she won't admit to it. I think, that she would probably, I get the feeling that she may get in trouble, that that she revealed herself to me.
Wow.
Because I believe that, it goes real deep. So I've made some connections, like I've never heard of anybody say this, but I've made some connections with the Mormons and the Masons in a breeding program. And I think Corey's got some information on this.
What about your dad?
He is, okay, now this is interesting too. He was molested when he was very young, and I believe by somebody involved in the breeding program too, to maybe insert some programming into him. It's kind of a complicated thing, but
well, that would be complicated.
And well, anyways, it kind of made him like gay, basically, right? But him being in the Mormon religion, totally discouraged that.
Right.
So he went on a mission, met my mother, in very strange circumstances that way too. He was also, like, when he was there, he was also poisoned, gassed.
When he was on the mission?
Yeah.
Wow. When was the last time the three of you sat down together and broke bread?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Because I think that's what, you know what? You said you're 50, right?
Yeah, I'm close to 50.
Okay, you're in safe zone now. Everything can be talked about, if you know what I mean. Wow.
Yeah.
Squid, this is a very interesting call, man. And you're right, it is complicated. But you just need to move along and figure things out. There's a couple of things that are happening in a couple of weeks. They are doing the Paracas Skulls DNA reveal here in Los Angeles. I think it's at the Marriott out at LAX, the press conference. And so that reveal is going to happen. And then any day now, any week, we're going to have the Nazca Mummy big reveal. Again, elongated skulls, Peru. And who knows, but I think that you'll be paying attention to all of that. So,
definitely.
And I think you
I've been following all of those things for sure.
So as soon as it breaks, do me a favor, call back into the show. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Sounds great.
Thank you, Squid. Good call. Next time you call, I'll get your name out of you. I promise. Have a good night.
Okay.
Okay, man.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Great phone call right there. Wow. Yeah, we do have these big announcements that are coming out. The Nazca Mummies with Gaia and L.A. Marzulli with his elongated skulls. I think Brian Forrester is involved with that, and Richard Shaw, and that's going to go down here in Los Angeles. I just got the invite for it. And so there you go. Big news coming out over the next couple of weeks. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. You're live. Okay. All right, man. I hate doing this. I hate doing this, but I got to do it right now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go to the other lines. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Marshall.
Hey, Marshall. How are you?
Doing good.
What's on your mind?
You had Stephen Bassett on earlier tonight, and he claimed that DeLong was delayed for about a year for no reason and went dark. And he had his theory on it. And I was a personal friend of Bill Tompkins the last 2 years of his life. I was going to work with him. And our theory is a little different than Stephen Bassett's. Basically, Bill Tompkins came out of left field with that book and did full disclosure right about when Tom DeLonge was going to come out. And so we think that Tom DeLonge was forced to hold off with any sort of partial disclosure, because you can't have a full disclosure Tompkins and a partial disclosure DeLonge happening at the same time. So they held off. Bill Tompkins did his spiel at the MUFON meeting in Las Vegas on July 21st, and 1 month later he was dead. And then 6 weeks later, Tom DeLonge suddenly shows up with the announcement October, 11 or 13?
31st. Close enough.
Okay.
13,
yeah,
31st, yeah.
Yeah, but conveniently, 6 weeks after Bill Tompkins is out of the way, DeLonge's back on the scene, out of the blue. So that way he doesn't have to compete with full disclosure. Or Michael Sala.
Could be. I mean, that's Stephen Bassett wasn't on this show tonight, by the way. He was on with us 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I'm listening to the radio now, and he was on earlier with the Linda Moulton Howe.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't this show. I'm not too sure what show that would be. But, what is today? Is today Thursday? Oh, he was on KGRA. He was on Phenomenon Radio with Linda and John Burroughs.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing. Yeah, it's my first time seeing your website. So I flipped around, and I don't know how I came upon it, but I found it, and you're on it. So I'm listening.
Well, we're on KGRA too. Yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. That's fine. Same network. Okay, so we were talking about Stephen Bassett. Well, Stephen. Okay, Bill Tompkins. Okay, what was your name, by the way? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Marshall.
Marshall. Sorry about that, Marshall. Is with all of this, with Bill Tompkins dying now. He died during the eclipse, actually. That's when that happened. The night of the eclipse is when he went into the hospital, the night before the eclipse, and then he passed away shortly after that. That was back in August. But
August 21st.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. If we go back and and if you look at the timelines of all of this and what Corey and Bill and David Wilcock and what they were putting together there and getting the book out with Bill, that was one thing that was going on. That's a project that was going on at the same time. And I know because I was involved with both, and that's with Tom and with Corey, that these are two situations that were going on at the same time. I'm not so sure, not without speaking to Tom about this directly. I can certainly ask Corey about this, but I don't think the two camps were aware of what the other ones were doing. Tom was Tom was very, very involved with what was going on with WikiLeaks. He was trying to get his company together. He's worried about FTC filings and getting the company done, waiting for Elizondo to end his career. He had all of the other stuff that was happening at the same time with everybody else in that group. I'm not so sure that he knew that Tompkins had a book coming out or that Tompkins was even working with Corey. I can't say that as a fact, but I'm just saying they were busy. On top of that, they had the books that were coming out with Peter Levenda, Secret Machines, and so there was a lot of things going on for them. I'm not sure that they were tied together. I would really be surprised if that was indeed the case. Now, they were both pushing, but they were both pushing for the same goal. There's no question about that.
I look at it as Bill Tompkins was not officially sanctioned. And he put that book together. It took him a long time, and he came out quietly right out of left field. I remember carrying the books to the first MUFON meeting when I picked him up at his house and met him for the first time, February 28th of 2016. And that's right when DeLong was in March talking about it's coming, I'm going to do, anytime, and then just disappeared. Well, if they got a hold of Tompkins' book and read it, and Tompkins, as Michael Sala has proven through the FOIA Information Act, has proven much of Bill, and I've seen schematics and paperwork myself, and he is the real deal. He was an amazing man, living history.
Right.
And he wanted me to work with him, and we talked a couple times, interviewed, and I decided it was too dangerous, but he told me a lot of stuff, and he was the real deal that could be proven as far as full disclosure. Corey Goode, whom I like and respect also, but again, to Richard Dolan's argument, it's hard to proof source that. Where Bill Tompkins, you could proof source a lot. And so Tompkins was more damaging. In other words, he could be taken more credible as full disclosure, where DeLong was going to do the partial slow disclosure. So I guess the analogy I might say is you can't throw a dog and a cat in the same room and shut the door because we know it's going to happen.
Well, there's that part, but also there is nothing like, Marshall, and I'm being serious about this, there is nothing like a multi-pronged attack. Right? Yeah. So you've got Tompkins and you've got, Corey and Wilcock doing their thing. You've got Stephen Bassett doing his thing. You've got DeLong doing his. You've got Greer out there pushing this agenda forward. A multi-pronged approach to all of that. Look, and Leslie Kean who we cannot lose in all of this, Leslie, who I respect as much as anybody, has her own approach to it. And she used to tell me, she said once, she might have said it on the air, she goes, you know what, I just don't agree with the way everybody's doing this. You know, I've got my own approach. I go in there, I deal with these military guys, and I'm out in different countries around the world, and I know how to get this done. Well, you know what? She's got her way of doing it too. And it's another, you know, you're tightening these bolts down. You know, we're just tightening them down. It's a multi-pronged attack. And right. I fully endorse all of it. You know, it's keeping that pressure on, man, keeping your foot on the neck of the man.
Yeah, but what I do differentiate between DeLong being completely separate from everyone else, from Greer to Tompkins to Leslie. I do believe that Tom DeLong's is an officially sanctioned government set up program for slow partial disclosure, and it will go forward. We'll get a lot more information, whereas everybody else, like Greer's put on 2 great press clubs. Look at all the hard work he's done. But if you don't have the big media support, it goes nowhere. And that's how America works. And there's 5 entities that own big media. They're controlled. They're not allowed to report on UFOs. We've had nothing up until DeLong. And then suddenly everybody, literally in the same day, I'm looking at Politico, Huffington, and I was doing a presentation to the local San Diego MUFON Club why we should support DeLong. We lost Phil, who was our buddy, but we should support DeLong because at least we're going to get some disclosure. It may not be full disclosure like many want. I kind of lean towards partial. It's sort of like a civilized society and not chaos. So I've changed my mind a bit on that. So I think that DeLong is the way we're going to get the most amount of information out. It's not going to be what a lot of people want, but as the old saying goes, be careful what you wish for. I like getting food 24/7 at a store to feed my kids, and I don't want to see chaos or any sort of societal or economic type collapse. You know, we have a society that riots over ball games and things.
Yeah, that's true. And Marshall, there's another part to this that you touched upon, but I think it really needs to be driven home. Stephen Greer, 2 movies that were hugely popular, and Unacknowledged had the support of Sony and The Orchard. So it doesn't get any bigger than that if you're going to push into the media. The reason why it didn't have the teeth, this is just my own opinion, is that Unacknowledged, the problem with it was that it was like UFO 101. It's the movie you would show to your parents. Right?
It was for the newbies.
Right, right. There wasn't anything groundbreaking in that. There was, I mean, I sat through the whole thing and I thought, well, that's really cool. That's what I would show my kids, right? As an introduction, this is UFO 101, and your education starts here. But there wasn't anything tied to that movie for the media to discuss it later. As opposed with DeLong, there's plenty there for the media to talk about. It's not just a UFO story, right? You've got you've got the Senate Majority Leader, you've got a Pentagon secret space program, you've got gun camera footage, you've got witnesses coming forward, you know, Navy pilots, you've got CIA, Skunk Works. There's a lot of stuff here to discuss, you know. So that's the difference.
But now Greer, I mean, both in 2001, 2013 Press Club, those were impressive people, and a lot of them, and long conferences, well filmed, but nobody saw it except for people like us that are interested in the topic.
But the difference, right, Marshall, there's no question about that. But the difference is this: all of that was presented, and all of those presenters have been guests on this show, including Stephen, as you know, okay? But with all of them, and that includes Mark McCandlish, who I love. Man, Mark is a brilliant guy and a great witness. But with all of that stuff, you didn't have a senator tied into it. You didn't have the CIA tied into it. You didn't have Skunk Works officially there. You didn't have, you know, the head of Skunk Works. You didn't have all of those things that would have given Stephen the push into the media, because the media didn't have anything to talk about other than UFOs and secret projects. Right? And that's the problem. And now it's another piece to the puzzle, though. what Stephen did, both Stevens, both Bassett and Greer, and Leslie Kane with her stuff that she's done with Argentina and Chile and the countries in Central and South America and Mexico. All of this is just the little things that we need, all of them, all at the same time. And that's my take. It's really my take. That's why I think these are exciting times. And then you put on the outside of all of this, we've got Giza and the Great Pyramid. We've got Göbekli Tepe. We've got these Nazca mummies. We've got the
Nazca mummies are awesome.
Yeah, and we've got the Paracas skulls and L.A. Marzulli next week. So these are exciting times, man. It's about to bust. The dam is going to burst. You can only keep your finger in the dike for so long, right?
Yeah, December 16th was definitely an historic day, no doubt.
Thank you, Marshall, and don't be a stranger.
And I will be seeing Tom DeLonge personally at a book signing in 2 weeks. I live here in Encinitas, where his office and store are located.
Right there on the beach, huh?
Yep.
I'll talk to you. Behave and be well.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Marshall. All right, let's take a break right here. I got to take a break. I got to get this in. Thursday night, it is Fader night. If you're on hold, stay right there. Let's see, who's up next? We're going to go with area code 209. You're up next, and then we'll keep moving forward. This is Fade to Black, Fader Night. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. We'll be right back.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Göbekli Tepe.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. This is the last segment of the show. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Now, before I get to the calls, get back to the phone lines, I had this weird dream, and I just have to share it with you. Okay, this is what happened. I woke up today, and I sat up, and I was like, you know what? I've got to remember this. And then I went and told Rita. So this is what happened. This was the dream. Rita and I'm driving. We're in a car. And we are driving to an event. I don't know what the event was, but we're stopped in traffic. And they're like directing cars to go and park. And I look in front of me, and there's a traffic cop there. And he's waving stuff around. And I look, and the traffic cop, the cop, was Travis Walton in uniform, and I turned to Rita and I go, "It's Travis Walton. I got to talk to him." And Rita says, No. You're not going to go talk to Travis. Drive the car. I said, "No, it's Travis." Right? And Travis is out there waving things. And I was like, "No, I want to talk to him." She goes, "No, we need to get to where we're going." Whatever it is. And then Travis motions to us to turn the car around and to go park somewhere else. And I was like, oh, really? So I turn the car around. We go backwards, and they direct us to go park in this field. It's a muddy field. And we pull up, and I turned to Rita, and I said, no, we're not going to park here. So I did donuts in the mud, and she said, "Why are you doing donuts in the mud?" I said, "So Travis will come and talk to us." Right? This is the dream. So I do donuts, and then I go back, and there's Travis again, tells us to stop the car, and he starts walking up, and then I turn to Rita, and I said, "Oh man, I've got a warrant out for my arrest. I can't talk to Travis." And I'm telling Travis to stop. Right, I'm doing this. And Rita goes, "No, you wanted to talk to Travis. Now why don't you talk to Travis?" I said, "I've got a warrant out." She goes, "What warrant?" I said, So this is going on. Travis walks up to the car, and he leans his head into the window and says, "What's up?" I said, "What's up?" And he goes, "Hey, man, check this out. I get off here in a minute from my job as a cop. So I want to meet you over here because I'm selling cars over there." I said, "You're selling cars?" He goes, "Yeah. So I want you to buy a car from me." And I look over, and there was like a used car thing going on. I said, "Do you want us to buy a car from me?" "Yeah." And he like tapped on the window, and then I woke up. That was the end of the dream. It was the end. I woke up because Teddy was barking. And I sat up on the edge. I said, I've got to remember all of this. I've got to remember this dream. And so I went downstairs. I made coffee. I went outside. I said, Rita, I've got to tell you about this wild dream. And so I told her the whole thing, just like I told you now. And I said, you know what? I've got to tell this on the show tonight. Now, I don't know. What does a dream like that mean? What is, and I turned to Rita. I said, what is the significance of that? How do you interpret a dream like that? What is the hidden meaning there? I have no idea. We'll find out from this next caller. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Jessica up in Modesto.
Hi, Jessica up in Modesto. So what was the meaning of that dream?
I have no idea. That is bizarre.
It is bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and if you think about it, Travis looks cop-ish. He could be a cop. He's got the cop stash, right? He's got the cop mustache. You know, he's...
No, when you first said Travis, and cop, I thought, remember in my mind seeing him either in an interview or something where he was wearing like a light blue shirt, and I was like, oh yeah, I can see that, cop. Mm-hmm.
Right. It's as bizarre as the story sounds. That's what dreams are, right? But it was really funny, and I don't know if you've ever met Rita, but when I tell her something like, I want to talk to Travis, and she says no, well, the answer was no, right? I'm going to drive the car, right? And so that was funny. For me, that was a funny part of the dream. But the other part was, which is exactly how Rita is, now Travis is coming up, and now I get to talk to him. And then I say, I've got a warrant out for my arrest. And Rita's reply is, well, you wanted to talk to Travis. Talk to him now, big guy. Right? You wanted to talk to him. No, I can't. I've got a warrant out. It doesn't matter. Talk to Travis. So anyway, that was the dream. And then of course, the whole used car part, he wanted me. It's just bad. Somebody makes sense of that. Somebody just posted, I smoked too much weed. Unfortunately, I don't smoke weed. But that would be a good excuse for having the dream. I could say, hey, I was smoking weed. But all right, Jessica, you called me. What's on your mind?
Well, I was wondering if you had seen the recent interview that John Lear did with Carrie Cassidy.
That who did?
John Lear did with Carrie Cassidy, and what all he had to say about Tom DeLonge and all of this that's come out.
Right. No, the answer is no. I haven't seen it. I didn't know that he had done an interview with Carrie. How is Carrie these days?
She seems okay, I guess. I mean, I try and watch all of her videos, or at least as many as I can. Sometimes they're pretty long, but I definitely wanted to see the one with John. And I was a little surprised at his attitude towards the whole thing. He seemed like irritated by it and, basically said that it has to be a psyop and that Tom DeLonge is only doing this to get money for his company. There's no way that the government would ever give him any information at all. And he's just, a silly rock star. And that it didn't matter because the Pentagon would never come out with any information like this. But besides all of that, he said that the footage, when he reviewed it, he knew that it was fake, at least the audio was, because he said, of course, he's been a pilot for, how many years. And so I would think he would know, be able to analyze something like that. And he said that the terms that they used and the way that they talked to each other, he said down to that the sound in the background is not something that you would have in such a recording if it was legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I know he posted some of this stuff that, so I did read. So what apparently he repeated in the interview, which is cool. What he had posted. I did read that. Somebody sent it to me. And my comments are this. Oh, he's one of the most decorated, holds more world records than any pilot. He's certified in more aircraft than anybody else. His CV and his work record are all documented, and you can vet anything. And of course, his dad was Lear of Learjets, right? So he's got all of that backing up anything that he has to say when it comes to things like this with pilots and lingo and talk. And we have to listen to what he has to say. We do. That's that's it. Now, is what Lear has to say the end all of anything? Of course not. But we have to.
Of course not. But
right.
It's like when someone who has that kind of background,
you have to listen.
Flat out, says there's no way this is real. I'm like, okay, you're raining on my parade, John, because I was really excited about this, but yet I can't discount his opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's Carrie's interviews that he did with Lear. She did those 2 or 3 days with him many, many years ago. And those videos are like 3 hours long, right? Some of the best.
Yeah, I've watched all of them.
Yeah, they're great. They're absolutely great, timeless stuff. And I have a lot of respect for John. And I just have to let it go there. The rest of it, and this is the truth. Okay, this is the bottom line. Anything that anybody has to say about any of it is opinion. Okay, it's opinion. It's John's opinion. His opinion holds a lot of weight because of who he is. But it is his opinion. Was he in the plane when when the footage was shot? No. Was he in the studio when they faked the footage and added the audio to the background? Right? No.
Right.
Was he on the Nimitz? No. Does he know the pilot? No. Does he know DeLong? No. Does he know Justice from the Skunk Works? No. Does he know anything about? No. Everything that he is stating right now is his opinion, an opinion that we need to listen to, but it's nothing more than just an opinion. And I have mad respect for John Lear, and everybody knows that. But it's his opinion, like it's my opinion or yours, right? None of us were there, because of his history, and he worked for he was a CIA pilot. Flying in, gun running into Beirut. Now, that's about as crazy.
And that's the only reason why, it's bothered me ever since I've watched that. It's like,
right.
Like I said, I've been so excited, but then I have his words, in the back of my head. I'm like, please don't let this be true.
Right. No, and
this has just been too much for that.
We all have to have those same concerns, but when it's somebody like John coming forward. But this is just my take on it. It's his opinion. Like anybody else that's going to lay, I have had many, many people, not many, like hundreds, but a few that have sent me email saying that the object, they know as a fact that the object in the gun camera footage is blank, blank, blank. Fill in the blanks, right? Just whatever you want to name. And again, it's opinion. It's opinion. It's their opinion that this is what this is. I've had people tell me that it's a top secret stealth fighter. I've had people tell me that it's a drone. I've had I can go on and on. I could literally go on, and not everybody can be right. Right? It's just all opinion.
And time will tell what's going to turn out real or fake. It was just him being so agitated about it and having such strong opinions. It just struck me. But you're right. It's just his opinion, and we all have one. And
that's it. That's it. And we got his holds more weight than others, but it's just an opinion. That's all. That's all. That's all. We can put. And Jessica, thank you for the phone call.
Thank you, Jimmy, for taking my phone call.
Absolutely. Have a great night, okay?
You too.
Man, I didn't know. I haven't seen the this interview with him, but I did read his statement on it. And, I was a little bit taken aback. You can't, when you're stating an opinion, you need to preface it with, this is my opinion, and this is what I think based on. But you can't say, this is fact, this is definitive, this is the end of it, this is why, boom, 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 and this is fact. That's right, man. It just, it saddens me when it happens like that. It just saddens me. So there you go. All right, let's see here. Hi, you're live on. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
It's Damien from Hamilton.
Hey, Damien, how are you?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good, man. It's Thursday night, Fader night, man.
Yeah, and I just wanted to call in to send positive vibes to our friend Corey Good. Hope he's feeling better. The show last night with David and all that was probably one of the best shows I've heard in a while, and I see where he's coming from and those changes that he's talking about. I know that they're true, and the changes are coming, and I just want to send positive vibes to all the Fadernauts and to stay strong and to stay together, Jimmy.
That's right, Damien, and thank you for the phone call, my friend. You're absolutely right.
And we just have to keep on striving. The answers will come soon.
They are. You're right, man. They're coming now. Thank you so much, Damien.
All right, Jimmy. Thank you. And Fadernauts, have a good night.
Thank you, Damien. Damien's absolutely right. It's coming right now. It's coming right now. We have so much to be thankful for and looking forward to. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Marie from San Jose again.
Hey, Marie from San Jose again. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to talk a little bit about the whole Tom DeLonge and how everyone's have a really strong opinion on that. And the release of this UFO stuff, and for us that are so used to seeing all of this UFO, and we've been listening to it and researching it, been fascinated by it since we're kids. I think a lot of this other stuff is for the rest of the people who have not had a chance to process like we have, and having to see it. I've talked to people, family members and friends about, have you seen the video? Have you seen what's going on with Tom DeLonge? And a lot of times it's no, or, I don't know about that. I need to understand it a little bit more. I think we have to be patient with the population. I think we have to be patient with them and to let them adapt to this new thinking, to these new discoveries, just like we took such a long time to embrace them, and still stay open.
Sure. And I'll tell you something else, Marie. I didn't see Leslie Kean tonight on Tucker Carlson on Fox, right? But once again, it's in the mainstream media. I haven't seen it. Certainly somebody can mention this in Twitter and comment on this if they did watch it, which is this. You're out there asking people if they've heard about Tom DeLonge, right? And this disclosure.
Yes, I have.
But do you think that tonight with Leslie Kean on Fox that Tom DeLonge's name was mentioned? And I'm going to say probably not, right? So, but if you ask somebody, hey, did you see last night on Tucker Carlson he was talking about UFOs? Then they would say yes. See, that's the difference here. Yes. Is Tom DeLonge the worldwide knowledge of this? Is that what?
No, but he's just one. He's just one. He's not the whole. He's just one little piece. And so there'll be a certain amount of segment that will be hearing about Tom DeLonge. There'll be another segment that'll watch those videos. There of the two videos that were released, and then there'll be another segment that listens to that will run into the Corey Good. People who listen to Gaia and who go, or maybe they're the ones that do the yoga and do astrology, and just somehow they'll find it. So I think we just have to have different avenues. Those who like rock music, who enjoy a little more edgier things, definitely found you. I found you because of that.
Right.
It's like, right. You sound pretty cool. I'm going to keep listening to it. And then one episode turned into 2 and then 3, and here I am.
Right.
2.5 years later.
Right.
I've enjoyed it. So I've enjoyed the ride.
You're exactly right, though, Maria. I'm sorry. That's the most important part about this, that everybody that is exposed to this is exposed through their own little window, their own group of friends. Maybe they're contactees. Maybe they're into yoga, like you're saying, and they watched it on Gaia. Maybe they're sitting in the barbershop somewhere and they see Ancient Aliens playing in the background. Whatever it could be, all of it is happening at the same time. You know,
and that's the point. It's all happening at the same time, and it's awesome.
It's so much fun.
You know,
so much fun.
The technology.
I know, right?
Is awesome.
Well, listen, have a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday right here on the show. Thank you so much, Marie.
Absolutely.
Thank
you.
Have a great night. Let's last call of the night. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hi, is it me?
Yes, it's you. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. Awesome. Okay. I'm calling you from Vermont. I listen to your show, and I don't really ever hear people calling from Vermont.
Well, Vermont is the size of my backyard, so...
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And we had, 40 below last week, and now we've got 40 degrees, so it's pretty crazy here. We've seen a lot of changes.
Right on.
So now I'm calling you because the fellow that called, I think, from Louisiana that was talking about seeing a craft, and that as soon as he reached for his camera, it disappeared or went away.
Mm-hmm.
I want to relate a story to you because a lot of times people ask questions and it was interesting, and so I'll get on with it. But I was out with my sisters and my niece, and we were gambling in Atlantic City, right? And we were coming home, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were all in the car together. My sister was driving, and all of a sudden I look up by the traffic lights, and this is in a little bedroom community in New Jersey. Everyone's asleep now because they spend all day at the beach, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. And I look up, and I see these 5 orbs, pretty small orbs, hovering over the traffic light, right? And I looked out the window. I said, look at that. Everyone in the car looked, okay? I looked above the car to see if there was any larger craft, which there wasn't. But as soon as I said, look at that, the 5 orbs, which were kind of vibrating a little bit, hanging out there, went into 3. The 5 went into 3. The 3 went into 1, and it disappeared just like that. So the idea that they can get it when you see them, they know. It's not even that they're watching. It's that they can feel you, or, and I brought attention to it, and they just went boop, boop, boop. And I asked everyone in the car, did you see it? They all said, yeah, uh-huh. I said, well, everyone remember it tomorrow morning. You know what? Nobody remembered it except me and my sister, my younger sister, because I kept telling her all night long, don't forget it, don't forget it. But no one else remembered it.
And nobody took pictures. I already know.
Oh, it was so fast.
Right.
It was so quick.
Right. And that's...
Yeah, I mean, I've had so many experiences that I can't even get into them right now. I'm trying to compile them all into a story. I'm an experiencer, this just happens to me. And it's like, we don't ask for these things to happen. They just do, and it's pretty amazing. I've seen a lot of different things, but I think that the telepathy is the thing that I'm trying to bring out, that they can feel you, they can sense you. So when you're conscious of them, that's when they are going to, disappear or do whatever they want to do. Now, this wasn't a craft, but it was some kind of conscious being because, it went from 5 to 3 and then to 1 and disappeared.
I love it. What were they 2D? Were they flat, or was there dimension to them?
No, it was an orb. They were orbs. They were circles of orbs, that were moving. They weren't going anywhere. They were hovering over this traffic light.
Right. No, I've seen the same
just
thing.
Kind of shimmering there. It was very interesting.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking, were they flat? Were they 2D? Were they flat, or were they round?
No, they were round.
They were balls.
Definitely round.
Okay.
Yes, they were balls. They were orbs. Yeah.
I got you. Thank you for the phone call. What's your name?
Okay. My name is Susan, and I met you at Corey's at the CITD last year. I was a volunteer, and I went to one of Corey's lectures he had where we could meet him afterwards, and so I did, meet some people there. It was really interesting. I really follow it, and really thank you so much for everything you're doing to come out. I also felt like, the disclosure they did on the 16th was great, but to people that have seen these things and are more conscious of them, the thing that got me was that they admitted that they spent all that money. So, right. But that to me was the big deal. Now, why didn't they make more of that? Why aren't they getting in trouble for that? Maybe they are, but it just, with these sealed indictments and whatever, but...
Well, that's the good news, though, Susan. We can't go backwards. They can't take it back, right? They can't take it back. Right. They can't take it back. Right. Susan, be safe and warm out there in Vermont, and we'll see you Monday right here on the show.
Oh, thanks so much, Jimmy. Love you. Bye-bye.
Right back at you. Thank you. Great phone call right there. The reason why I was asking about the orbs being flat, because what I saw, and I don't even care anymore. I swear, I just don't care. What I saw up at ECETI, and it was big. Well, it was small, but it got big. It's in the video, and I talk about it. But that was probably 50 feet around from that distance. I don't know, it's a quarter mile away, and it's about this big. But it was flat. It was flat like the orbs you see in pictures. You see them all over the web. Look at my orb picture, and you look, and it's a flat round. Okay, so that's what it was. It was flat, and it's off in the distance, and it's sitting there, but it was 2D. It wasn't a ball. It was flat, man. It was like two-dimensional space hanging out there and then disappeared. And that's it. I don't even care anymore. I don't care what people think. I really don't. I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. Orbs are real. I'll never forget that when I turned around and somebody in back of me says, "Hey, is anybody else watching that gray orb out there?" I was like, these things are real? Because they are. All right, that wraps another Thursday night, another Fader night right here on Fade to Black. Unbelievable show tonight. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew, the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA The Planets. Thank you to Jon Rappoport and everybody that called in tonight. Twitter was a madhouse. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. JChurchRadio. I'll see everybody on Monday right here. But until then, everybody be safe. Go Beckley Tepid.